Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So I'm back after a long time again. Got new glasses, got a new phone, but we'll go into that in a different video which will actually come at some point. So get straight into it. This is the Motion Boom by SoundCore, ANKER, and it's supposed to be an extreme outdoor sound speaker delivering on high amounts of bass, clarity, everything you could wish for. It's supposed to go up, I think it's the JBL Extreme, at a much lower price point, so it's focused on value and focused on bass. So of course it's not going to be expected to live up to brands like Bose and JBL, but it's supposed to be pretty close. The write-ups on it are great. People on YouTube already love it, so I thought I'd give my take on what I think of it. It's supposed to be 24 hours of playtime, IPX7, customizable EQ. Obviously SoundCore have an app, and it uses their bass up technology. So, I mean, whatever that means, I think the name bass up is just a gimmick. It just means they put the bass up on the EQ. But we'll give it a listen to because that's the only way you can test a speaker, by listening to it. I have consumed ANKER SoundCore products before. I was happy with the SoundCore 2 noise cancelling headphones. Those sounded great. The noise cancelling was good. But I did have an original ANKER SoundCore Bluetooth speaker. It was about that big, the write-ups were supposed to be good, and it was supposed to be impressive bass for the size. Of course, the size of it was that much. I wasn't expecting, you know, room-shaking bass, but it was really disappointing. It sounded like shit, and it had this really annoying auto volume leveling control crap on it, and it sounded horrible. So I sent it back, and I thought, I'll buy this, which I paid basically £100 minus 20%, so I got this for £80. So pretty happy with my purchase. You can get this for double figures in America and in the UK. Unless you're in India, you'll get this for double figures for the most part. So yeah, enough waffling, get it out of the box, give it a listen to, give it a review. Here it is. Look at it. Decent looking. This handle looks a bit goofy, but it's functional, and my hands wouldn't really be able to comfortably one-hand this without the handle. If you just use the handle, it makes it so much easier to carry. This here is a good package, and actually, I don't think it's a bad-looking speaker. It looks like, in the pictures, before you buy it, it looks like a cheap, gimmicky plastic thing that you get from China. It's not, it's solid. It is made of plastic, but the plastic is solid. You know, the grill is made of metal. The buttons all feel solid as anything. It feels like a solid Bluetooth speaker. Now, you can make whatever decision you want about the way it looks. Here it is. But I personally think it's actually a decent looking Bluetooth speaker. You can also stand it up this way, so it's got these little raised up bits at the bottom here, which means that you can actually put it this way without putting pressure on the bass radiators either side of the speaker. It's got dual drivers, titanium drivers. Them being titanium drivers actually is a bit of a gimmick. It gives you better sound, better clarity, that sort of thing, theoretically. But actually, some of the best speakers to ever exist do not use titanium drivers, but take that with a pinch of salt. They still sound good. I've given it a listen to, but now I'll give it a listen to with you. So this here is the SoundCore signature sound with no bass up. So it's at 40% volume and it sounds pretty good. Clear, but not crystal clear. There's some bass there, but it's not room-shaking bass as of yet. Now we'll go up to volume a little bit. So this is plenty loud already. There's a bit of bass lacking without pressing the bass up button, so now we're going to press the bass up button, and now all of a sudden this warm, rich, deep bass has come, and honestly it's shocking how much bass this can produce. see, what I like about this speaker, and I have actually been using it for quite a while now, listening to different sorts of music, playing around the graphic EQ settings, what I've found in this speaker is that it makes a good amount of bass on the default SoundCore. You can actually put up the bass with the bass up button and with your own personal graphic EQ setting, which if you do that, I recommend you lift the treble up a bit, as the high trebles are a little bit lacking, but that can easily be made up for with the graphic EQ app for SoundCore. So yeah, this is a very good sounding speaker. Another thing I love about it is you turn it up to 100% volume and there's no distortion. Of course, if you're listening to music that does clip, then it will clip, but for general music listening at 100% volume, there's no distortion. It does sound good. It sounds clear, it sounds deep, it sounds rich, especially for a Bluetooth speaker, which only costs you double figures. Right, so I want to be as quick as possible doing this out here because it's cold and windy, and the longer that I play this for, the more pissed off the neighbours are going to get, so let's just get straight into doing it. Down at the other side of the garden, it's freezing, it's windy, so you might hear a lot of wind noise, but we've got to put this up to 100% volume and play it. Come on.
It's all about humanity.
You could probably hear how loud that goes outdoors. We were a very good distance away from that speaker, and the amount of noise that it made was incredible, and you could still hear the deep bass clearly. Clear, deep bass outdoors. That's something that sub £100, small, obviously not that small, but still somewhat small, Bluetooth speakers struggle with, really struggle with. This manages it just fine. There was clear bass, clear highs, clear mids. The highs, once again, are a little bit muddy, but that can be sorted out with the SoundCore signature app. And after you play around with it, get the sound you like from it, which, trust me, you will get a sound out of this that you like by changing the settings. The settings are so wide, you can do so much with it. You will get this sounding the way you want it to. And outdoors, it's loud, it's crisp, it's clear, it's deep. It's everything you need. And I do not recommend you spend more than this speaker costs on things like JBLs, Bose, and all that sort of thing. You can, and you will probably be very happy with what you buy. But if you're a value-oriented person, it doesn't get much better than this. I've listened to JBL Extremes, JBL Flips, Bose speakers. I mean, I used to have a Beats pill, but that was shocking. That was so crap. And that was a real one, not the fake one I had. I listened to a real Beats pill. It was shocking. It wasn't that good. And this has blown anything that I've ever listened to out of the water, apart from Sonos speakers, but those aren't portable. You have to plug them in. So this is fucking awesome. And I recommend that if you're looking for a big speaker that isn't too big, that you can play indoors, outdoors, and have it sounding deep the way you want it to, get this. I'm not going to shill it. There are other options out there too, but this is probably one of the best options that you can get. Another reason why I would recommend picking up this speaker is because it goes on sale a lot on Amazon. So sometimes you can get this for as low as £50. If you got that for as low as £50, you would have got yourself a really good fucking deal, because that is £100 worth of speaker. I wouldn't say it's worth more, but £100 worth or below. And if you manage to get that for 50 quid, you've got yourself a very good deal. One reason I wouldn't recommend it is because it is big. So if you're looking for something small, you're looking something that you could slide into your pocket, and you could carry around, throw it in a bag and all that. This isn't it. I must admit. And there are other companies that do offer better small speakers. SoundCore are good when it comes to bigger speakers, with smaller speakers not so good. The only small speaker I'd actually recommend from SoundCore is the SoundCore Boost, I think it's called, and it's a small speaker with the bass up technology, and it's focused once again on bass. I've heard one of those in person. It sounded very impressive for its size, and a lot of people would argue that is all you need. But this is my favourite. Then the SoundCore Boost is one from SoundCore that I would recommend if you're looking for a smaller speaker. But otherwise, have a look at some other brands. I'm not too experienced with the Bluetooth speakers. I have listened to a wide range of Bluetooth speakers, but when it comes to the smaller ones, I wouldn't know which one to really recommend to you. But I would recommend having a look at the SoundCore Boost, because that's the one I almost got, but decided to go for something a little bit bigger. So if you're looking for something small, go for the SoundCore Boost. Look into it, don't just take my word for it. My speaker listening experience is mainly with big speakers. So when I say this is the best thing I've ever heard, I mean in terms of Bluetooth speakers. I've listened to all sorts of hi-fi systems and that sort of thing. I've got my own. I've owned loads of speakers in the past, but Bluetooth speakers is a completely different thing to hi-fi systems. So this good Bluetooth speaker, I think that's all I really need to say. So on that note, enough waffling. I think I've gone on perfectly enough in this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please subscribe. If you didn't, please feel free to leave me some constructive criticism in the comments. I really don't mind. And yeah, like the video and do all that, you know, normal bullshit. And I've not actually got a cup of tea with me, and I'm not going to get one because I had one earlier and didn't really fancy one today. So yeah, see you in the next video.